Yo, what is up, guys? Quick video here. I want to tell you guys all of the launch agents and what they are going to do for the global release of Strinova. If you don't know, it is available for pre-download right now. You just go to their website and you can just click the pre-register button. After you pre-register, you'll be able to download. The game will also be available on Steam as well, but you can't pre-download if you're going to play on Steam. So do keep that in mind. I think even if you open it from Steam, though, they're still going to have their own client because it's usually how games do it. They have a client. So that's something to keep in mind. I personally would just download it from the website and get the client, unless like you really want to track like your hours or something, or just have it connected to your Steam account. But without further ado here, so all of the launch agents in the game that we are going to get is the base roster of characters that you've probably seen or not seen, and then we're also getting two new characters that are going to be released that are both available currently on CN, called Eika and Fragrans. Eika is a duelist, more of like a, push character. They're aggressive, going in, pushing with the team and everything. And then we have Fragrance, who's more of a supporting character, helping out your allies, giving them buffs, healing, and stuff like that. I'm going to give you a rundown of both of their kits real quick first before going into the base characters of the game, since these ones are newer to the EN side of things and kind of newer to CN as far as I know. So Aika, like I said, she's a duelist. She carries a drum shotgun, kind of like an AA-12 if you think about that. She got crazy thigh game going on. I don't know what she looked like behind the mask, but pretty nice artwork going on there. So her skills, Purgatory, she does a flame cage similar to like Neon or the flame guy from Valorant. I forget his name. You know him. You know him. The guy with the flash. And when she does go within the flame cage, she's able to do extra burn damage to enemies inside. So almost like a domain expansion. Yoik Tenkai. Holy. And when she's inside of it, it consumes heat to increase the cage wall damage. Which is pretty interesting. Also, the skill will end early if no enemies are inside of the cage. So this has to be something that she lands on an enemy, or else she's just going to run out and go on cooldown and she's going to lose it. Then she has her passive, which is each shot on an enemy accumulates heat. So you probably want to stack up your heat before you send out that flame cage. And then at max heat, damage against stringified enemies increases. Other skills can consume heat for boost. If you don't know what stringified enemies are, it's people that are in the paper mode, Paper Mario. So she's going to get a bonus damage against them. Because when people do go in that mode, they do get a base level damage reduction. So she's going to have bonus damage against people like that. Snipers also usually have something like this in their battle menu, like on stuff you can upgrade on your gun. So she has that base kit, which is pretty interesting. Then there's her ultimate, which summons up to 3 firestorms per round, forcing gliding and dealing burn damage to enemies in range. So this is going to be a really push-heavy ability. You send this out, make everyone glide into the air. You have your whole team, you call out, shoot out the air, and you guys push the point just like that. Or it would force people to leave the point knowing that she has the ult. It is a threat to definitely have to deal with. And then we have Fragrance, who is a very supportive character here. Also, very nice artwork. Definitely Strinova team, props to them, for Strinova art team, whoever they got doing these arts that they commission. These look very good. I love the like withered rose veil that people have on their face. Like 2B, I don't know, Jigglypuff, stuff like that. But her skills here, like I said, very supportive. Her active skill emits one of 2 perfumes, creating an aromatic field around her. Allies inside gain an increased rate of fire or movement speed. So this is either RNG or maybe she can select it, I'm assuming. Like she chooses one of the 2 perfumes. I'm assuming she chooses it. The passive here is the Elixir Aura, where Fragrance releases a healing aroma to slowly restore HP to herself and nearby allies. Another supporting thing, healing up your teammates, pretty cool. Then we have her ultimate euphoric aroma, creates a potent aromatic field. Now this turns her kind of like into a tank here, if you want to think about that, even though she's like a support character, because when she's in her ult, she actually can't use any weapons, but she gets a very big damage reduction. So you kind of want to protect her, but she's also making it so your teammates are like mega juiced up, you know what I'm saying? And this is going to have a big field. Most people's ultimates in the field are pretty big, so I'm assuming this is going to be a very decent AoE size that you're going to be able to buff all your teammates, and they get a buff to everything: increased rate of fire, movement speed, and health regeneration. Then we're also getting besides the new characters, just new stuff that we're getting. We're getting a new map as well, similar to Overwatch, where it is called Cosmite. This will only be for demolition, which is the plant the bomb mode, you know, search and destroy. I'm not too big on desert maps, but, you know, I'll see what they're cooking when they play it, because this was not in the previous beta that I played or the first beta. So, yeah. Going back into agents in the game here. So, agents in the game, we have Michelle. Michelle is a kind of defensive character here, and what she's able to do is place these like little cat turrets, and when she does these little cat turrets, you know, it's kind of like Cypher from Valorant, you know, or if you play Overwatch Symmetra, or if you play TF2 before. I doubt anyone played TF2 anymore. People don't know that game anymore, but you know, the engineer. But I'll stick to Valorant. I feel like most people probably know Valorant terms. As much as I don't know that much about Valorant, but I know like a good amount to compare it to. Or Overwatch. Both are good. Both are good comparisons. But as you can see, someone comes through. They get laser beamed by the tower. So, and she can put these in a wide variety of spots. Like even that little like that little crevice right there, she could have it up there. There's like a lot of spots she can put this. And this is very OP because she can actually get an upgrade in between the round that makes it so that she detects the people and they slows them. But I think they might have changed that on live release. They gave us patch notes right here, which I was reading off, but they didn't give us specific character like buff and nerfs, probably because it's going to be live release from the beta, so they didn't include that. So I don't know if they're going to keep that slow and... Oh, they still have the slow here. Okay, it still says a slow. I don't know if the detect is still going to be a buyable buff then, because her passive has it, but it's direct weapon strikes. So yeah, and then her ultimate is pretty much just a big version of her turret, which she puts out and it automatically just hunts down people. I have not heard her English voice at all. Her ultimate was so OP in the beta. Bro, this thing literally just holds a solo point. This is like 3 characters in one. It has like the HP of like 3 characters, unironically, and look, you see that? It just lasers them. Like, there's like no counterplay. That is crazy. All right, then we have Kona here. Actually, let's go by each area. So yeah, we'll go Sentinel here. So Sentinels, Nobunaga, he has a DMR. His passive, after he charges ADS, when he's fully charged, he removes the enemy's ADS crosshairs. So, as you can see, that was so loud, I just died. I don't know. Let's change down the sight volume, because it's always going to be max volume. Holy. Yeah, so, as you can see, when he shoots them with a fully charged shot, they lose their ADS, which is a pretty cool thing. Then his skill, he unironically says domain expansion. Oh, they don't have the voice line. No. His Japanese VA literally says Yoi Tenkai. It actually chills for that. But he can place these 2 Guardian Eyes, also like the Golden Gun guy in Valorant. I forget his name, but pretty much he places one of these and he can teleport, also like Symmetra. Symmetra is pretty much like Meow Meow, Michelle, and this guy in one character. But pretty much he can place one of these, and if he goes to another part of the map, he can teleport to it if he has another thing down. And then his ultimate is a 360-degree constant pulse generator, exposing enemies struck to all teammates while inflicting silence. And them being silenced is they won't be able to cast their abilities. If we look at it here, they don't give you a really good view of this, but pretty much anyone that's getting shot in here that's in the domain, they will get silenced and they will get detected. Look, like they show right there. So those 2 people got shot by one of his teammates, as you can see. So, okay. Nobunaga, not too crazy of a kit there, you know, nothing too complex. And then last we have Audrey. Audrey is she's just like LMG turret girl. She's able to hard hold down points on defense. We have her passive here. Her passive is she summons a frontal shield upon entering deployment or ADS. Pretty much when you are on the opposing side of this, you try aiming at an Audrey that has the sights down, you're usually losing the battle because she gets so much shielding for free. Well, they showed it against Fragrans as well. As you can see, it blocked a lot of damage right there. It gives her pretty much like a free shield. Then we have her skill here, which is what puts up the turret. And this, you're getting drilled by this. So she's holding down a point with this, you're not winning, okay? If she's holding down a point with this, you are not winning that ADS battle unless you're on a sniper. Even with the sniper, if you don't have a fully charged headshot, she is able to tank it because she gets a lot of shield in this. As you see, she's generating shield as she's shooting. And there's also a overheat system, so she can't just permanently just be, you know, buzzing down everyone. She will have to wait a little bit if she's shooting too much, you know what I'm saying? So there is a little bit of counterplay on it, as you can see here. But just to show you what it looks like. I wish they showed both perspectives of this. Maybe this is 23 seconds. I think they're just showing it cooling down. Yeah, they don't show both perspectives of this, but yeah, you're getting nailed if she does that. Her ultimate is like a firestorm, similar to maybe what Aika might do here. Her ultimate, when she goes into this, shoots out a bunch of like flame bullets right here, and if you're on those flame bullets, you will take damage, as you can see, and it ticks very fast. Pretty much just control, you know, able to hold down a point. And she gets 6 bullets of that. And yeah, nothing too crazy. She just puts fire in the ground, holding down the point. Don't go on the fire or you will burn. You know, you're not going to push through that. Then we have our duelists here. We have Flavia, Ming, Bimao, and Fushia. Fushia is my GOAT, one of my favorite characters, but we'll get to her in a second. Flavia here. Flavia has a very confusing kit on the surface, but once you start playing her, it's not as confusing as it seems. So her passive here is damage taken reduces her active skill cooldown, and taking a lot of damage grants her temporary ultimate points, which must be spent in the current round. So if she takes a lot of damage, she can get an ult point. It could be a clutch, you know, clutch scenario. You're 1 point away from ult, but you don't get a takedown. Instead, you just take damage and you'll get your ult up. So you see, go here. As you can see, she got a point on her ultimate here. They didn't show the cooldown getting reduced for the skill. They probably should have shown that as well, but her skill would have gotten cooldown reduction. So her skill puts up a flash like Reyna. That's the best example, Reyna flash. And the Reyna flash, if it's not destroyed, she gets invincibility, and she's able to go invisible as well. Let me show you this. So as you can see, she's able to get out of that scenario because of this. And that's the girl with the AA-12, the shotgun. So she wears the mask in combat. It's my first time seeing her in gameplay, because she wasn't in beta. Pretty much just a evasive skill, but you can also use it aggressively if someone's hunting you to like kind of turn the tides of the battle. Now her ultimate does pretty much her skill on crack, to be honest. She generates a phantom zone at her location, allowing her to transform into a butterfly for a brief duration after receiving an otherwise lethal blow from an enemy within the zone. Attacks from outside the zone will not trigger this effect. Flavia can only reveal herself to enemies outside the zone by attacking. So she's permanently invisible, and she has her skill effect. As you can see, she can go in and out of that. But when she left the field, her ult ended. You know, pretty simple. Also, looking. Sheesh. Let's go to other duelists here. We have Ming. Ming is pretty much just a shield stealer. Her passive, when she shoots someone, she regenerates her shield. As you can see here, shield going up in the bottom left. So you always want to go heavy armor on Ming. Then we have her skill here. Her skill takes armor from the enemy, and it also slows them, as far as I know. She also gives her movement. She gives herself movement speed if she's within the field. So like if she shot it like downwards or something, because it's going to create a field at the end here. And then her ultimate, pretty much like you know, we're pushing in the points. You know, she goes into a mode where she's going to be stealing even more shield, and her shots apply a stackable slowing debuff. And like I said, she's getting the temporary armor. They don't actually show her fighting anyone. I think they could have gotten some better previews for the skills, I'm not going to lie. Because I've got the idea of what these look like in my head from playing the beta. But you guys, you know, that have not played the game, I'm trying to show you here. Trying to give you an idea of what it looked like. Pretty much, she pushes hard into the point with this. Because she's almost getting like, she's almost going to like a berserker mode. If that makes any sense. So next here we have Bimao. Bimao, he's like a very aggressive character. He wields a shotgun, and he's able to do a lot of disruptive effects with his paint stuff here. So first thing's his passive. When he shoots someone, he puts paint on them like this. And the more shots he lands, the more paint gets on your screen. Can be very disruptive when he gets a lot. His skill can also put paint on you, and he refreshes his weapon reload, and if he gets a kill, he gets a refresh on this. They don't even show him get. What's the point of the character there? What the? Okay, do remember that if you get a kill with this skill, you would get a refresh on it, as I say here. They should have definitely shown him killing the Meredith right here and then getting another refresh. I don't know why they didn't do that. I feel like that was a fumble, to be honest. His ultimate, this works exactly like, dude, what is the flame? Hold up, flame guy Valorant. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. Phoenix. Okay, yeah, this is literally Phoenix ult. Word for word, bar from bar. This is Phoenix ult. It's the exact same thing as Phoenix ult. He puts down a space on the ground. He has a limited amount of time. He can go in. He can get kills while he's doing this. If he dies in his form, he goes back to where he started his ultimate. Pretty simple to understand. If you know Valorant, I know a lot of people are coming from Valorant, try this game. If you don't know Valorant at all, just know he put down the beacon, he turns into another form. Once he dies, he goes back to other form. Big way you can counter this, if you know Beam Out ulted, you can go to the point where he ulted from. Or if you've seen him ult, you can wait for him to come back and you can just pop him immediately. Because he has like a little bit of a buffer time when he teleports back at the end here. As you can see, or he's got to like, reset his weapon and everything. Next duelist we have here is Fushia, my goat. Fushia is kind of like Reyna without any utility, pretty much. She's literally Reyna without any utility. She does have the scan that she can use, but the scan only helps her out unless you have it upgraded. So her passive is when she gets a kill, she gets health crystals. Really aggressive playstyle here. As you can see, she's healing because she got that kill. Her skill is able to get the scan like I showed here. And when you get there's an upgrade you can get for this where when she scans, she can actually slow them as well. But the base version of this will not slow. And she only scans for a little bit if they're full HP. But if they're low HP, they will always be scanned. Oh, they did show it. Okay, I was about to say. I was like, surely they show the fact that they low HP scan. Yeah, so pretty much, as you see, she got her low HP. She scanned and went that. Her ultimate, another Berserker type ultimate, pushing the point, full send. Her ultimate makes it so she gets increased rate of fire, tech power, and enables her skill to always illuminate all enemies. So she gets the low HP buff, even if they're at full HP while she's in her ult. And she also can extend her ultimate if she gets crystals, similar to Reyna, like I said. Okay, I don't know why for the ultimate they only show the animation. Why they only show the animation? Let's get like a kill at least or something. Surely this is like early, they'll change this later, okay? Yeah, so pretty much she ults, she goes in, and all ultimate voice lines, by the way, is the exact same as Valorant and Overwatch, where when someone ults, it's like a global voice line, you can hear it. So that's another thing to keep in mind that I didn't talk about here. That is all of the duelist characters we have here, though. Now going on to controllers, we have Yvette, Meredith, Rachie, and Melina. Honestly, I'm just gonna, can you middle click these? You can't middle click these. All right, we'll just do my regular strat here. Yvette, if you know League of Legends characters, she's kind of like Annie. If Annie was in an FPS character, it's this character, except she's like not a little girl. She's Yvette. Anyways, her passive is when she stands still, she's able to go invisible, kind of like Teemo, if you know who Teemo is. But when someone comes close, they will be able to detect her. And it's showing pretty much like the range that it goes to. Look, she's invisible. Once they get in range, her invisibility is slowly decaying off because they got in range. Pretty simple to understand here. Her skill throws out the big teddy bear. This is why I call her Annie. And you're able to go into this teddy bear and pretty much grief people. You can like run into them and stuff. You can put a slowing field under them. Pretty cool, honestly. The only thing about Yvette's teddy bear is in actual practical use, it gets countered a lot. Because when she's in teddy bear, obviously she's just standing there. She's not able to do anything. It's like if you do a Junkrat ult in Overwatch, if someone knows where you ulted from as Junkrat, like the Junkrat's dead, That's kind of the similar thing with her teddy bear here. So that's the thing about it. She is able to get like upgrades and stuff that help her out a little bit though. But yeah, she's been one of the characters that's like lower regarded because of that. Her ultimate here is able to make her polar bear get like a super big buff pretty much. And as you can see, once he comes in, he generates polar zones. These polar zones just do a bunch of debuffs to people that are within the area. slips additional damage, and reduced fire rate and weapon usability. Just a bunch of debuffs on them pretty much here. As you see, pretty much just able to hold down the point. She is a controller character, you know, so yeah. Holy, they added shades to him. He didn't have the shades before. Hold up. They gave him some drip. What? That's sick. I know they gave him some drip like that. Yeah, they should have showed a POV like this for Audrey. I don't know why they didn't do that, but that gives you the idea of Yvette there. Meredith is similar to who's Meredith similar to in Valorant? Kind of like Viper, I guess. She does have a Viper ult. All of her rest of her kit though is nothing like Viper, but her ultimate is like Viper. So her passive, she's able to fly, but she can get nailed while doing this flying thing, I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is, when she is in the air, she also gets like a little bit of a buff. So that's like it's like a double-edged sword, I guess. As you can see, they should have shown her shooting at someone. Like I keep saying, they could do a little bit better of explaining the skills here, I'm not gonna lie. Sandstorm, this just pretty much is a debuff to people that are within this, but it doesn't have any blinding stuff yet. The blinding is which would come from her ultimate. This specifically is able to reduce their movement speed, tech power, and HP. I'm assuming they're going to show another POV since it's 17 seconds. Yep, okay. I wonder why they did this for Meredith and Yvette, but not for, like, Michelle or any other people. Also, this HP, this is another reason it's like Viper. This HP is decaying HP, so, like, you get it back after you leave the zone. As far as I know, if they didn't change it from beta. In the beta, when you left the zone, if your HP decayed even down to, like, the bottom, because it can't kill you, it just brings you down to, like, you know, if you get, like, poisoned in Minecraft, it can only bring you to half a heart. Same thing as this. So, once you leave the zone, you would, like, slowly regenerate your HP. And then her ultimate, this is the Viper ultimate here. People that go in this, they're blinded, and they are debuffed like her skill did. And she gets a free highlight of people in it. Literally, like, exact same thing as Viper, pretty much. I don't know how else to better explain it. Oh, it also has a pooling effect as well to the center point. That was something I forgot she has. As you can see, also on the HP bar, that little, like, that grayness on it is showing that it would recover after you left the zone. Another thing to hold down the point pretty much here. But that is all for Meredith. Also looking a whole this 2D yard. Yeah. Anyways, going on to controllers, we got my guy Reichi. I always call this man Dante. He looks straight like Dante. If you don't know, Reichi and Nobunaga are actually brothers. I learned that recently. Last beta. Pretty cool. You know, some cool lore fact, I guess. But Reichi here, another DMR type character. This guy literally 2-taps you in the head, which is insane. Nobunaga can also 2-tap you in the head, but yeah, they both got the 2-tap. You see Reichi or Nobunaga holding on the point and they got good aim, do not be pushing that or you will get bodied. Alright, skill preview though. His passive regularly scans frontal enemies and summons while in ADS mode, which are exposed only to him. Kind of like Fushia, except only for his ADS. We're going here. As you see, he's getting a nice little scan on them, but goes away. And then once the scan goes again, he gets another scan of them. And this is pretty much just showing the cooldown for the scan on when it'll send out. You know, pretty simple. His skill, this is similar to Symmetra Wall. I think Symmetra Wall is the best variant of this from another game. He puts this down. People that go into it, I think you need upgrades. I don't know how much they're going to change with it. You needed upgrades for people to get, like, debuffed and stuff. They don't show it. Yeah, they don't show it. So I'm assuming his base thing is just a wall block. And if people go through it, they get their vision obscured for a little bit of time, but they don't get scanned or anything. Once you get upgrades, you can make it so they get scanned, pretty sure. Then we have his ultimate, which refreshes his skill and makes it so that it's able to actually block bullets. This makes it the full Symmetra buff on the wall here. So as you can see, he ultimates, refreshes the skill, and now he has the empowered version of his skill here, which they can't shoot through the wall anymore. Pretty nice, you know, another controller type of thing. Nothing too crazy. All right. Last controller here, we have Melina. I always call this girl Tracer Booty Girl because she wears the same shorts and it's highlight. It's just a Tracer. Um, anyways, she is another controller. She does a bunch of stuff with paint. Her passive is that when she shoots people with her weapon, it exposes their tracks, shown here. So as they're walking, you can see where they ran to, you know. Her skill also does the same thing, which we will get to that. So you can just pretty much you can hunt people that have walked through the paint or that she shot. Then you have her skill, which is able to stop people from going into their stringified mode. So you can pretty much hold down a point, make sure people won't be able to come through while damage reducting, because this is a stringified blocker. Or if someone is about to like jump onto a wall, you can put this paint down before they go onto that wall, and they'll no longer be able to go there. So there'll be a sit and duck, you know, pow, you know, they're GGs after that. Then this also can get upgrades where you can get like a slow for them and stuff, but upgrades, I guess, I don't know what they're going to change and stuff for the upgrades, so I won't talk too much about upgrades. Her ultimate is a giant version of her paint gun, the big paint bubble here. And when she has the paint bubble, it still does the stringify block, it exposes enemies, and once it explodes, it does damage, and it slows the people that are within it. As you can see here, just another point holder. I remember her ultimate like being more or like less opaque than this. They may have changed it to. But as you can see, there's a damage vulnerability and stuff like that on it. She's also another character. I think she's like three tap head, pretty sure, without any buffs. So with her ultimate, you're probably like 1 or 2 tapping people. Like round 1, you could probably 1 tap someone, honestly. She goes crazy if you have good aim with her. That is all of the controllers here. You know, Yvette, Meredith, Rachie, and Madalena. Going on to supports, we have Kona and Celestia. Kona is a sniper. Also, very nice design looking. I like playing her. She's a pretty cool character to play. She's like all supporting besides her sniper. Her passive is able to... She's kind of like a Lifeline, if you know. Lifeline from Apex Legends. Or similar to... who's another character in Overwatch or something? Overwatch or Valorant? I can't think of any Overwatch or Valorant character. Like, kind of, maybe like Mercy? I don't know. OG Mercy? Or no, actually not OG Mercy. Current Day Mercy. Because it's 1 revive, yeah. Her ultimate's kind of like Current Day Mercy. And then... her passive is like Lifeline from Apex, if you play any of those. But let's show the passive here. Revives a deceased allied character at her approximate location. I think it's here. Able to put the little bot on them, and the bot will auto-res, and she's able to go do stuff. They should have like walked around to show that you're not stuck to the character to revive them. But yeah, that's her passive here. She's able to just revive someone and to walk away. Her skill is literally just overhead. It can be healing or shielding, and it's pretty much just like a buff just following you. Also very similar to Lifeline as well. Okay. Then her ultimate, like I said, is the Mercy ult. You know, summons an ultimate on someone, and it'll make it so they spawn in. You can choose a teammate that you want to res, and they res up and they go back into the fight. Pretty simple there. Nothing too crazy on that. And then we have, for other support, is Celestia. Also, supports that should be in here. I already talked about them, but Fragrans will go into the supporting tab, obviously, as she's a support. Celestia, she does more offensive supporting here. Her passive here is able to regenerate nearby allied characters and her own armor just from being near them, which is pretty cool. So like this, as you can see, her armor is regenerating, and this person that's knocked, when you're knocked, your HP slowly decays, so she's stopping this person's HP from decaying because she's next to them. I think that's what they're trying to show here. This is like, this is not the best way of showing it, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, these are like their first ever showcases, you know, their first ever showcases. I keep talking about it. Her skill is another like single target buff to a character, and when they're buffed, they get a temporary armor buff. And when it comes back to her, it'll grant her a temporary armor buff. This is like the shortest clip ever. They could have shown at least 2 POVs for this. Yeah, I don't know why they're selective on showing POVs for other characters versus the main character. They can like show the other person's shield going up for this. But I think you get the idea for that. Her Astral Gate gives her a boost to allies' armor, to her and her allies' armor, and an instant teleport to their location. So she's able to teleport someone and insta give them a support. This is similar to the Cosmic Girl in Valorant. I think her name's like Astra or some junk. I might be completely wrong. I just know there's like a girl in Valorant who does like cosmic stuff, and she's able to teleport. She does kind of like the same thing as that, but I don't know if that girl in Valorant gives you buffs, but she gives buffs. So as you see, she's charging up her teleport, and she's going in here, instantly able to support. When she does this too, you're able to instantly shoot too. So like you just go out here, instantly bang bang bang. Let me not be 100% on that though. They might change it. They might change it. From this animation though, like I'm pretty sure you're just there. You're just able to lock in and start shooting, as far as I know. But that's it for the supports though. And then lastly, we have our initiators, which is Konami and Lena. Konami, she's literally just 50 cal sniper. Her sniper does a lot of damage, and she has scanning and stuff like that. And Lena also has scanning, and she has who's able to do? I guess Neon. She's kind of like Neon, except Neon doesn't go invisible. Lena's able to go invisible, but we'll get into that soon. All right. So what she's able to do with her passive is when she shoots anything, if someone's within the radius of the shot, she's able to scan them. Now, it doesn't go through walls, but like if it's open area, so someone's like on a cubby right here, and I shoot the bullet like here, you know, it'll scan the person that's behind this cubby right here, you know. Watch the video. Let's watch the video. This is a video explaining what I'm talking about. Yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea there, you know. Shot and get to the scan. It's a very little scan time, but that's where her skill comes in, because her skill is able to do a longer scan here. Now, the thing about her skill is there's a lower velocity on the bullet. It's an actual projectile, because her sniper is hit scan as far as I know. So her actual skill, though, is a projectile. As you see, it has a little bit of travel time. So that can get you caught up, so keep that in mind. But this has a way longer scan than her passive does. Now, her ultimate is an interesting ultimate for a DPS character. Her ultimate pretty much puts down this little clone, and this clone is able to like bait in people. Like if people are in the radius, it kind of pulls them in, similar to Meredith's ults, if that makes sense here. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about in this gameplay here. So the person behind the wall, they're going to get pulled in here, as you can see. So pretty much you're not able to stand by this wall anymore. You have to make noise. I think that's one of the big things about it. I think there's also like a debuff that you get for this, right? Yeah, there is. If you get hit by the thing, you get stunned and it reduces their fire rate. As you can see. That was an okay showcase of it. I think it gives you a general idea. Obviously, you know, test all this stuff when the game actually comes out here. And then the last initiator we have is Lena. I'm not a big fan of her design. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I feel like they could have cooked a little bit from Lena's design. I don't know. I feel like she would look really good in a suit. I think that's what she's missing, honestly. Any guys for girls in suits, you know, women in suits. Hey, I would be there if she gets a suit skin. I might start maining this character. She gets a suit skin, because I don't even think her gameplay's that bad. I just don't like the design of the character that much. Anyways, her passive here is her primary weapon briefly exposes any enemies that she shoots, similar to Keiichi with his scan. Yeah, so she shoots them, they get scanned for a little bit, you know, pretty simple here. Her skill is literally just a radar scan. She throws like a beacon, scans people in the area that get hit by the pulse of it. Also goes through walls as far as I know. The pulse blade will vanish upon failing to detect enemies in its vicinity or after 3 local scans. For specifics there. As you can see, scan deck Kona at the top. I don't know why they do such short clips for some of these things, bro. They're so short for some of the things. Could we get like a little gameplay going on here? And then her ultimate is able to do a full radar scan down the line, and if she's in the area that she put out, this is why I was saying she's like Neon. If she's in the area that she like puts out, she's completely invisible, but she's not able to do damage to anyone. She's not able to pull out her gun or anything.
The destiny of this world is to be buried.
So you see like this? So when she's in this, she's completely invisible. Please show the other person's POV. They gotta show the other person's POV, because she goes completely invisible when she does this. I've gotten bodied by this, because I didn't know she was literally just completely invisible when she's in this. They don't show the other person's POV. I just know, the second she ults, and she goes in this form, and she has the scan on her, completely invisible. You can't see any particles or anything, like she's gone. So like you can use this for like picking up the bomb and stuff and like that. That's usually what people use it for. When you're in this, you are able to interact with like the map and stuff. You just can't shoot on anybody. But as you can see, when she came out of it, you are able to come out of it and shoot at someone if you want to. When she goes back, invis again, and she comes out here, this person has no idea. Because I think she also doesn't make any noise when she's invisible as far as I know. And this person right here, bodied. Simple. Simple and easy. That is all the characters, though, that are going to be on release of Strinova. I hope this rundown of characters helped you out. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments what you're thinking, you know. Some character you want me to explain or something like that. I don't know. I plan on, the character I played the most in both betas is Fushia. You know, I have a lot of bias towards Fushia. But I'll probably go through and give like another rundown of all the characters once the game comes out for like a better review of them. Because, you know, some of these characters, like I said, didn't have the best showcase going on, you know? But yeah, that is all the super strings that are going to be on global launch of Strinova. Don't forget about Fragrans and Aika. But that is all from the Gib. Goodbye.